So Ghostbusters is a massive brand, and Afterlife really does pay a lot of fan service, has a lot of action and a lot of comedy, but you just leave the movie thinking that it really could have been so much bigger and better. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is the long-awaited third installment of the Ghostbusters movie, and this is really meaning that the 2016 movie is kind of disappearing from this particular timeline. It did happen, but it was just in another multiverse. As far as this movie is concerned, it is a true sequel to the first two movies. Speaking of the first two movies, it does pay a lot of respect to the original material and has plenty of Easter eggs for many Ghostbusters superfans, and it really doesn't change up or mess up the heritage of those two brilliant movies, or it doesn't really tarnish what went before. Instead, it just focuses on a bit of a new, younger cast and also a new mystery, whilst also referencing back to what happened before. I mean, it also does have a much smaller town feel to it versus the massive landscape of New York City in the first two movies, but you know, it is definitely worth watching, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So the storyline in this movie is set 30 years after the events in the last installment, namely Ghostbusters 2, not the Ghostbusters 2016 movie. And this time we focus on a mother and two kids who are recently evicted and are now moving into their grandfather's house, which is a farm in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, they witness some earthquakes and some strange goings-on that mirror the events that took place in 1984 in New York City, and they also learn about their connection to the original Ghostbusters and investigate what on earth is going on to try and save the world. Now, from a positive point of view, like I said, you know, there's loads of Easter eggs and a lot of fan service that you can really reference from the original two movies, and it is really nice to finally have a continuation and an official continuation that is canon from the first two movies, as obviously this movie has been in development hell for a very long time. They've been trying to make a third Ghostbusters movie for a long time, but always Bill Murray didn't really want to sign on to it as he didn't really like the script and loads of other various reasons, and so finally we have got a Ghostbusters movie. It is really great to see that it is a bit of a continuation, but it is a very different new cast that we're focusing on this time. Also, it does have a bit of a horror feel to it. Obviously it's really modern, so everything looks absolutely amazing, and all of the ghosts in particular definitely will put a chill down your spine. It is also a bit of an empowering movie, as the main lead heroes and lead characters in this movie aren't the typical protagonists that you would see in an action movie, and so it really does support and champion the underdog, which is really great, and it's also really comedic and pretty funny at the same time. However, from a negative point of view, like I said, it isn't that big in scale. I mean, obviously it has got a bit of an end of the world storyline aspect to it, but it is very much focused on a bit of a small town, and I was expecting it to be a bit larger and grander in scale, especially as the first two original Ghostbusters movies definitely were. Also, when the ghosts do eventually appear, it does shift the narrative and the tone and the things that you are seeing these ghosts doing quite considerably. I mean, I know this was probably intentional, as they did want to mirror and hark back to the original, but I was just expecting something a little bit different to happen with those ghosts. But you know, that being said, from a storyline point of view, it is actually really solid. So the cast and characters in Ghostbusters Afterlife are actually really wicked, so let's go through them one by one. So first up we have the main lead character, who is played by McKenna Grace. She plays a character called Phoebe, and I am always just blown away and super impressed by McKenna Grace's performances, as she always just smashes it out the park. Such a talented young actress, and definitely will have a super successful career ahead of her. As far as the Phoebe character is concerned, she's really smart and really witty, but doesn't always fit into school, and I feel like this is something that a lot of people can relate to, as this character really is championing the underdog, and she is the granddaughter to the original Ghostbusters character, Spegler. So it's really interesting, as this character is finding out a lot more about her grandfather's past, and obviously the actor very tragically passed away, so I feel like they pay a lot of respect to the original actor and to the original character as well, and I just feel like McKenna Grace does such a brilliant job in leading this movie. Next up we have Wolfhard, who is playing her brother, the Trevor character. He's cool but not super cool, and I feel like he's trying really hard to fit in with the new town and the new town's people that he's in with, but he isn't as great of a character as the Phoebe character is. Next up we have Carrie Coon, who is a single mother of these two characters and trying really hard to navigate this new situation and also being in a brand new town and trying to also integrate with these new townspeople. And also she is of course Spegler's daughter, so I feel like there's a lot of backstory that this character explores, and just like with her daughter, there is a lot of heart and emotion that this character brilliantly brings to the big screen. Next up we have the awesome Paul Rudd in this movie, who is playing a brand new character, the comedic supply teacher in this new town, and he is really interested in tectonic plates and geography and really working out what on earth is happening with all of these random earthquakes, and in turn is obviously really pivotal to exploring all of these ghost phenomenon. And so I feel like this character is really bringing the comedic value, as always, by the brilliant Paul Rudd actor. And of course there is a lot of respect being paid to the original Ghostbuster characters and actors, and so I feel like from a casting characters point of view overall, they are rounded off really well in Ghostbusters Afterlife. So from a visuals point of view, like I said, this movie definitely has got a bit more of a smaller town feel and vibe to it. But that being said, because it is a brand new movie, it just looks absolutely incredible. All of the ghost scenes look really cool. All of the fighting sequences look absolutely wicked. All of the end of the world sequences are absolutely brilliant. All of the ghost capture sequences are really great. All of the chase sequences, all of the action sequences blended together with really comedic sequences just means from a visuals point of view it is really cool. Like I keep saying, I wish it was a bit bigger than the small town feel and vibe that they have got. But that being said, if that's what you're after, you're absolutely going to love all of the cinematic spectacles that are awaiting you in Ghostbusters Afterlife. So from a comparisons point of view, I feel like this movie is a lot stronger than the 2016 reboot / soft reboot movie. I don't think it's as good as the original two classics. Of course it is a lot better from a visuals point of view, but I just feel like they're definitely in a league of their own. In terms of comparing it to other Ghostbusters material, I would say this movie is a lot stronger and maybe in the same level as some of the episodes from the animated TV series, and a lot stronger than the comic book series as well. In terms of comparing it to other movies outside of the Ghostbusters franchise, I would say, it is a lot stronger as well than Beetlejuice, and so much better than the recently released Artemis Fowl, and I'd probably put it on the same level as well as Casper the Ghost. So overall, I really enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. I was personally really expecting a little bit more from this movie, but that being said, I feel like they've done a really good job in terms of continuing everything that they have created since the second movie, while still trying to do a lot in terms of creating brand new characters, brand new worlds, continuing everything in a really respectful manner. And so for all of those reasons, I feel like they have actually done a really good job, and I'm going to give this movie a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you thought of this movie, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.